My name is Doug Marcaida, Judge in Forging Fire.
Scott, we have a little problem here.
Edge weapon specialist, Kali martial artist. And today, I'm going to tell you my secrets of the forge.
It will kill.
My role as a judge in Forging Fire is that I represent the end user, meaning I'm the one who gets to use the blades. And because of that, I get to find out if the blades can kill, if they're sharp, how they feel when you're wielding them. And that's what I love about my part of the show. I grew up in the Philippines, and my biggest fear was knives, having some issues with those in my younger years. I decided to face my fear, and I actually stumbled into my own ancestral art, which is Kali. And that got me into being a military contractor, teaching the military and law enforcement, because a lot of my students were actual instructors in those fields. So when we started Forging Fire on our first pilot, when it came to testing, we had nothing really planned for the testing purposes. But then I had to go back into my own training. How did I teach combatives to the military? We actually test our weapons with pig carcasses. So I told them, hey, let's bring this into the field because it's very close to what we do with the reactions of cuts and the lethality of weapons. So with that, we were able to bring cutting of meats and fish and everything into Forging Fire because it's the safest way to do that before ballistics dummies came into play.
To test the lethality of your Chris, I will take your weapon. I'm going to strike into this animal carcass. Mace, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
So, first few seasons of Forging Fire, we came up with what we call the kill test, because a kill is about what the weapon can do. We need to verify that it is lethal.
Let's put it to the test.
But in so doing, I get so excited that it will kill, you know, because I have an accent and it sometimes comes out.
It will kill.
But then when I found out that the show is something of a family show, we are creating memories with families, then there's a responsibility of the word kill. We don't ever want to glorify violence. My martial art, our motto is, it's not about how many you hurt, it's about how many you protect. The responsible use of weapons. In following that motto, I thought of creating the kill, K-I-L-L, into K-E-A-L. Keep everyone alive. One of the beautiful things that I'm blessed to be part of a show that's creating memories.
Doug, say the words.
It will kill. My top 5 favorite tests are, number 5, water tubes. I'm a water person. What I like when you're doing that is that they gotta make sure that when they're cutting, the right edge geometry is there, because I can see the tracings of each cut. You can start to say, ah, this one is a crack as opposed to a cut. It will cut.
Thank you.
The 4th one is fish. There's a different feel when you're cutting through fish and the media for that. You can see the clean cut.
Well, we got 4 steaks out of it. Beautiful job.
The 3rd one is a wild boar. It is protected by a very thick hide. So each cut that you're doing with that, actually you can see if it's very sharp because you've got a lot of hair in there that will absorb the impact and not allow for a deep cut. It's got to be a sharp weapon. Number 2 is a pig carcass, because this is the closest that you'll see and feel on the human skin.
To see how much lethal damage your weapon can do, I will deliver some killing blows on this pig carcass. Travis, you're up first. Ready?
Sure. Number 1, the ballistics dummy is my favorite one. But why do I like that? Because it's the closest thing to doing something combatively without actually being in combat.
Alas, poor Yurik, I knew him well.
It's also become my friend. I call him George. When he is in his jelly form, I call him Jelly George. When the gel falls off and it's all skull and bones, I call him George Bones. And when he is in foam, I call him Savage George because he's a little savage when he's foam looking. But George makes me happy because I love him and pet him and have fun with him.
That the gang's all here. There you go. Everybody's here hanging out. There's Jelly Bones. There's Savage Georges. There's Bones down there.
Introducing ABS Mastersmith Jay Nielsen. Historical weapons expert Doug Baker. And professional Kali martial artist Doug Marcaida.
No, like
My name is Ben Abbott, competitor turned Fortune Fire judge. It's such a smart idea, full-time bladesmith and blacksmith. And today, I'm going to tell you my secrets of the forge. For most of my life, knife making was a little hobby. I would do a little bit of blacksmithing here and there. I was an electronics engineer working at Caltech. I would make knives sort of nights and weekends. But then I watched Forged in Fire, and I just had to compete, and that's when I fell in love with bladesmithing. Been making blades since I was about 13 years old. I was born in Worcester, England, and I saw all the cool armor and weapons and stuff. Just decided to start making it for myself. Going now, man.
Ben's going the extra mile by adding some angle iron to create what you call a sand mine.
I do the sand mine construction because it is a sexy looking blade, makes a very tough blade. You'll never crack the whole thing. It'll never break in two.
Damn, your giant brass balls are showing.
You know, Ben, you decided to go more complex than everybody else on a round one challenge. Kudos for that. And you still had time to acid etch it, bringing out these layers. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well done, sir.
Ben, you are the Forged in Fire champion.
First time I competed, I still was working at Caltech, but I really started to grow my shop and grow my business and grow my skills. And started making lots of knives for me and lots of other people. Then when I got a phone call to compete in the first Champions episode. I was really, really excited about it.
How are we feeling, man? It's coming along. Right on.
Everyone else is doing sort of the same thing that I did on the first show I was on. San Mai, I decided on a different strategy. I'm trying to actually cut the channel and insert the steel that way.
Interestingly, Ben is not doing the taco.
These guys know they're up against Forged Fire champions.
Right. Everybody's game gets elevated.
Once it's over, the thing that concerns me is looking at my competitors and realizing that the knives that they finished are really good looking.
You got it set up and your steel's beautiful. Everything's nice and tight. He's doing a butt cap. Won't be connected to the tang, but it'll be a part of the handle that'll counterbalance the weight of the blade.
Okay. Nice, man.
Giggity.
That's gonna be good.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah, that sucker just fragmented.
Ben, congratulations. You are our first two-time Forged in Fire champion.
Your claymore is a thing of beauty, not only to look at, but to wield.
Thank you very much. After I won the second time, I figured that was it. My 15 minutes of fame were over. But I got a phone call. Answered the call. There's the producer, and he says, "Would you consider being a judge?" And yes, yeah, of course I will. I mean, how cool is that? I've competed 9 times in this Forge arena. I'm still the unbeaten, and I think there's a couple of challenges that have been my favorite. One, for example, is I got to make an Ida sword out of wrought iron and nickel.
Now, on Ben's side of the forge, he's going for a high layer Damascus at his core. Then he's still got to clad it with the nickel and the wrought iron and go back for another forge weld.
All I've got now is one more weld to get the wrought iron and nickel stuck onto this billet, and I'm off to the races. The bolster is looking really good. Now it's time for the quench.
Ben went from being relatively far behind, and now he's the first one quenched.
If there was some way that I could be sitting and judge me on my first competition, I would be impressed by what I thought was impressive back in the day, which was being the only one in the room to do a San Mai weld where everyone else is using monosteel.
We're going now, man.
Ben's going the extra mile by adding some angle iron to create what you call a San Mai, which is basically sandwiching unhardenable outer steel onto a hard core.
Now here we go. Stuffing the taco.
Oh, you don't want to touch that.
San Mai technique allows me to quench before everybody else. After I harden it, it makes it easier to finish the blade because the softer outsides are easier to sand. As it gets a little trimmed down, it starts to feel racy and sexy and fast. I really think it's going to be a heck of a chopper.
Well, Ben, as you can see, it's sliced nicely all the way through. This, sir, will cut. Awesome.
I want to put a little piece of artistic flair on this one. This is a Chinese war sword. Let's put a Chinese dragon on this thing.
What you making?
It's a dragon.
Fancy.
I think it looks really good.
Among all your blades that I've ever wielded, I'd say this is the best one.
Thank you so much.
Some of my favorite times were where they brought people back to compete against me. All of the people I've competed against I consider amazing human beings, and some of them are very, very good friends. Tyler is a fierce competitor, so I know that this is not going to be an easy win.
These are small. Are you making a dagger?
Ben's just playing mind games. As an Army vet, everybody gives everybody else a hard time. So if Ben's trying to have an effect on me, it's really not working.
Looking kind of small. That's what she said.
Brent, big surprise. Brent and I have been friends ever since that first episode. It's a hell of a time. I know he's an amazing smith, so I'm gonna have to go all out plus a little to keep the streak going.
you look a little tired, Brent. Why don't you take a nap, man?
Do you think you're like lulling me into like a sense of security? You're not, man.
We've got Brent and Ben going head-to-head, building their Ida sword. Now, Brent is clearly on the hunt, trying to be the very first smith to beat Ben in this forge.
So I'm finished with my blade. I'm really happy the way it looks. And I look at Brent's blade, and I'm intimidated.
Well, bladesmiths, in 8 hours, you were both tasked to build a very difficult blade with an even more difficult technique. But in this competition, only one of you can come out on top. The winner of today's Forge and Fire competition is... Ben Abbott. You are now 8-0, buddy. Congratulations. Now, Nicholas, because you are returning to this forge, we wanted to give Ben a chance to add his own little spin. So, Ben, have anything you want to add to it?
Yeah, I'm gonna add 2 twists. Let's do 4 stacks.
Doubling down. All right, guys, so you need to make your spadas with 4 stacks of opposing twisted stack Damascus.
I hate you.
Can I pick it up?
Yeah. Okay. A little blade swap going on.
That is a beautiful guard and handle. You know what? That is amazing. I hope it breaks.
When Doug chopped that pig in half with my claymore, that was awesome. That was the first moment in that competition that I thought I was going to do really well. I mean, that was a $10,000 piece of pork on the ground right there, and I was really, really excited about it.
Ben, you're up next. You ready?
Hope so.
Let's do this. Ben, this blade just sliced all the way through that carcass. It's flexible. It's got a good feel to the cut. This, sir, will kill.
Thanks.
Good job.
Ben, you are our first and only 2-time Forged in Fire champion.
I'm a loss for words.
Thank you very much.
Job.
Oh, my God. I am the Forged in Fire champion of champions. I can't believe it. The people I was competing against are so good. To actually come out and win this thing, it's absolutely amazing.